So I did a video last week where I gave a prompt to Bolt.new and it generated a mobile application for me. I don't know that much about Lovable because I haven't used it that often, but I'm going to give it the exact same prompt and see what it builds for me. If it builds a website, that'll be interesting, but I'm just looking to see how well these two apps now come together with their skill set. The last time, sorry, not skill set, but features. The last time I used Lovable was about the same as the last time I had used Bolt, which was when they first came out. So this is the prompt. The link will be included in the video description. It's basically to create a to-do app with role-based access, be able to add comments to to-dos, be able to add images to the to-dos. So let me just give this a drop in. So I dropped the exact same prompt in, and let's see what we get. It's thinking now, and we will see what it does. So it's got the features. So let's allow, add an LLM. I don't need all this shit. I need a backend, so I'll allow it. So it's got all the features that I need. Admin panel, super admin, proper role level security, and still thinking away. Oh, so interesting. It looks like it's going to use Ionic Capacitor. And I suspect that it's using Ionic Capacitor because it can't build Expo apps. So for those who follow my channel before, you know I've worked with Ionic Framework and Ionic Capacitor before. It's basically a way to wrap a website inside of a container so it can be deployed to mobile devices. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle the Supabase connectivity, but it looks like it's managing the database for me, creating the roles and everything. What would be a nice follow-on video after both of these are done is to actually take a look at the code that is generated by the two different platforms and see if there's any real differences. I mean, we can look at the logic for the React Native application and compare it to the logic. I'm going to assume that they're going to build this with React also. And so we can see how close they come. All right, still cranking away. It's setting up my database for me. Gotta love that. And setting up Capacitor for me. You want to know what? I gotta say, I'm pretty psyched to see that they're using Capacitor. Capacitor does not get all the love that it deserves, but it's getting some love from Lovable. So even if nothing else comes out of this, I'm going to give Lovable a shout out for just using Ionic Capacitor, because this was news to me. I might even tweet about it. Okie dokie, still cranking along. Let me poke around and see what they got here. Like I said, I haven't used this in a while. I don't want live previews, I want to see the code. I guess it can't show me any files yet. Oh, what's this? It's a preview, it's the code, see the cloud. I already enabled cloud. Security, nothing here. Leave the sidebar open, go back to code. I guess it's not going to show me any code till it's all done. Yeah, because it's just shooting blanks right here. Let's just close all this and let it keep going. So clearly I'm going to speed through all of this so we don't have to stick around. But one interesting observation is that both Lovable and Bolt decided to go with Supabase, which I find interesting. I mean, Neon Database is available. It can be hosted. It's hosted Postgres. You can have access to it. I wonder why they went, I guess Supabase gives you more than just a database, and so that's kind of the compelling reason. I noticed that with Bolt, you get access to the edge functions. I don't know if they give you edge function access here, but I know you do also get the image storage, and I don't know what Neon does for that. Okay. Oh, we're seeing a little bit of progress here. Uh-oh. Let's see what we got. All right. What's next? Sign up, create tasks, upload images, and add comments. Deploy to mobile. So they have separate instructions for Capacitor, and then they have customize it. Lovable Cloud powers your backend with the database, authentication, storage, and serverless functions, all managed automatically. So approve Lovable to use tool. I thought I did already. This is a really bizarre, like, what's it doing? Like, why is this is a weird UI? Why is it showing me all this code this way? Back to latest code. All right, this is much better UI than I'm used to looking at. Since I have worked with Capacitor before, I'm pretty familiar with all this code and the approach that it takes. Also interesting, everybody uses TanStack now, so they got React Query. I bet if I compare this code, it's probably almost identical to what Bolt generated, except for the differences for generating React Native versus generating Ionic Framework code. We got our set of migrations, which set everything up. I guess the only way we're really going to know for sure what we got is to try to run this thing. And I'm obviously going to have to add some credits because I'm burnt out of credits here. But let's see if it'll even run. Like, how do I run this thing? Go back to preview. Actually, what's Cloud? Oh, so Cloud's this is nice. Let's take a look at what we got. So similar to the Bolt that gives you this access to this database UI, has my users here. No users found. Reload to check again. Can I add a user on the fly? So we have our storage, we have our to-do images, but it's private, so it looks like we probably have the exact same bug that we had in the Bolt video for those who haven't seen it yet. This will cause an error because it's private. You won't be able to see them on the front end unless they went ahead and added the row level security here. I probably don't want to show my secrets here in this video. Do we have anything in the logs? They've come up quite a ways here. All right. I have no edge functions. Secrets. All right, let's let this rip. So let's sign up. It's got this kind of standard look of a vibe coded tool, but let's just do my first sign up. So I signed up, account was created. Here's my profile, my role, create. This is a test task. Hell yeah. Open, let's pick a due date. But it didn't allow, let's see. Task created successfully. So after, that's kind of bizarre. After it creates the task, then it allows me to upload an image. Let's try and upload an image. I do like that this one allowed me to upload the image from the device, which, by the way, Bolt would not allow me to do. This is the exact same error that Bolt had, and I'm 99% certain that it's because of the way the access is set up on the storage bucket. So if we go to a storage bucket, oh, no, the image is here. File previews are not yet supported for private buckets. Interesting. Why can't I even see this? All right, let's go back to our code. How can I see my log here? For those who haven't noticed yet, you could tell I'm not a Lovable everyday guy because I really want to be able to see my error logs, and it would be nice if it was integrated in here. I'll close that panel. That's to preview my code. Show me any error logs. I would expect it to be down here on the bottom, but it is not there. For those who I've kind of lost in my rambling around, I'm trying to figure out why I cannot see my image here. Let's see if we can add a comment. This is a test comment. So I did get my comment posted. I do have my to-do. Let's try this. I open my preview in a new tab. Move my tab over here. Put this into developer mode, developer tools. Let's try to render this join as a mobile app. See what we get. Pick a bigger phone, 14 Pro Max. Interesting that it didn't save my state and log me in, so let me sign in again. All right, so I'm signed in. Here's my test task. Still can't get my image. See, do I get any error over here? And then if we go up here and look at our network and we filter for images, this is the images trying to download. and it ain't giving it to me. So there is some error getting the images. So let's, seems like everything else works though. So that was pretty good one-shotting it. I gotta admit, I'm pretty impressed. Let's create another one. We did a one. This is the task done. Pick another due date. See, but it would, like, why can't I create the, it would be nice. I should be able to create the image here. We're going to take what we got and try to keep it moving because we're going to be fair to how we dealt with the Bolt one. Now that's interesting. Create task. All right. See, but at least it saves the task and brings you back to the page and allows you to add an image. So let's add another image. It would be nice if I can click there to add the image because intuitively that's what I thought I could do. I got all my YouTube thumbnails from all my videos. Let's post this one. So once again, the images are going up, but they're not coming down. You can see right there. And let's add a comment. And another one. All right, so we had 2 comments. I like how it's doing the time thing there. This actually wasn't so bad. Let's go to the filter. We can use a little space here. Our filtering's working. And let's see. And that's not bad. I also liked it. It also solved another problem that I think we had with Bolt was that it wasn't updating this page on the fly. So now let's try and do some debugging, get it to fix the... So what do you want it to fix? The primary thing to fix is the fact that I cannot see any of my images, and clearly there's some error that you can see over here. That might be too small for y'all, so let me zoom in a bit. Clearly there's some error going on over here with trying to access our images because you can see we're getting these bad requests on all of them. But we know that they are going there because if I click on cloud and I go to storage, we can see it looks like they're creating a folder. I bet they're creating a folder for each. Looks like they're creating a folder for each task and then putting the image inside of it. That's what looks like what they're doing. So let's. Oh, what did this do? The admin. So it's interesting. How did they address the admin thing? We'll base using super admin roles with proper URLs. So how do I get? I guess I have to add. Let's see. Because here's a problem. When you create a user, you cannot set whether it's an admin or not, because you don't want users going in and making themselves admin. But I need some way for me to test it, because it says here to complete authentication, they said user and Supabase admin roles with proper URLs policies have been done, but there's no script for me to put in that user. So let's see what we have. I view all profiles. So this is my, I think I can force him in. Let's go to users. Well, let's try and add user. Well, Aaron plus admin. All right, so the admin Aaron has been added. The catch is that unless they have a trigger, so let's see. All right, so it did create the profile. But you see it has the admin here. So let's switch this role. And let's switch that to super admin, save. All right, so now Aaron admin is a super admin. So let's go back to our mobile app and profile, sign out. See, so let's see how they handled it on the bottom. It's frightening how similar this is to the Bolt solution, even down to the exact same layout of the tab bar and the icons. So this is the home. So this would be the admin's task, and they have none. This is my profile, it has my role, and then this is the admin view. And this is not correct because I should be able to see all users, and it just crashed, which I'm very disappointed because I was really feeling good about this for a while. So let's try again. So I should see two users here. I should see Aaron admin, and I should see Aaron at Clearly Innovative. And then here, when I go to all to-dos, this definitely is not right. And let's go back. So profile's right. Home. Let's create an admin task. Admin task created. Let's upload. Once again, see, just intuitively I click here and it doesn't work. Let's click here. What's this? Oh, this is another picture of me working, so let's upload that. Didn't stick either. Nice touch with the toast. But we have a task, so let's go back. So now we have an admin task here. Profile. Well, let's see what happens if I go. And all to-dos is still broke. All right, so we have a couple of fixes that I need to try to add here. Let me pause and get some tokens, and we'll get back and see if we can wrap this up. All right, so you can see I upped the credit card and got the base plan. And so now let's see if we can get this wrapped up. All right, go back to my project. Okay, first off, the images that are uploaded are not rendered in the application. So I'm going to try to just fix one thing at a time. And so let's log in here. And we'll go here. And all right, let's just run this, keep it simple. All right, see what we get. I'll take the stored bug and fix the image rendering issue. There you go. And let's see what the issue was. Generating signed URLs to the budget. Okay, so that's good. Let's go back and check our other images. So let's go home, check this one. All right, so our images are there. Can I preview them? Yep, I can. Oh, nice, very nice, very nice. And let's go to, I guess this was the mobile app. So let's go back here. I want a tablet preview. I want a mobile preview. So let's just force it. We'll take it out. We'll go back into our dev mode here. Force it into mobile. Okay. And then do a refresh. Oh, because this side's, oh, that's good. So this one's logged in as an admin. Let's see if does his image show up? Yes, his admin image does show up. But does this still crash? Let's see. Yes, it still crashes. Okay. So then the next thing here, there's no problems in the basic application. So now we're just focused on issues that exist in the admin role. So logged in as a super admin, I should be able to see all users' to-dos in the admin view. And right now that page crashes. And then what was the other issue? So let's go back. Okay. So this is the admin. When I go to home, it's my task, so that's just the admin's task. So that's correct. This view also, I can't see all the users, so let's add that. When logged into super admin, I should be able to see all users' to-dos in the admin view. Right now that page crashes. Also on the users page, I should be able to see all users. Let's just sign out here and sign in as the admin on this page. All right, so it's updating the rule of security for superadmin to view all profiles. Let's allow it to do the update to the database. So it's running the script to update the role of security. Role of security is a pain in the butt, so it's so nice that these tools can handle that for you. So let's go to admin now. So now I can see both the users. All right, now I'll fix the to handle null profiles safely. No one should have had a null profile, so that's interesting. Let's go to all to-dos. So now I can see the admin to-dos and I can see Aaron's to-dos, so that's good. And so that was the crash and it fixed it there. So we can see all users, we can see all to-dos. Can't actually view them, but I guess that's okay. I can filter. Let me see if I can test. Let's go back to all, test. And then let's see. So this is pretty good. So we quickly got to end of job. Well, let's try one last thing. Let's create a new task and see if we get the image right off jump. New admin image task. Test. Open. Pick date. Create task. Upload image. Upload shows immediately. Save changes. Home. That's the one I just saved. Right? Nope. Is it this one? All right, so all the tasks are here. Let's go back to the admin page. 2 users, all to-dos. We have 4 to-dos. All right, so this actually worked out pretty well. And I got to end a job faster than I did with Bolt. But let's not forget I don't have a mobile app yet. So let's take a look at, let me just finish going through here in the mobile view in the admin console, which probably would be nice, but I'm going to treat both the same. So the missing piece here is that I was able to run on device. What we want to do is figure out how do I actually deploy this thing. So let's see, what do I got here? Did it give me a nice README with some instructions? Okay, so in the README, these aren't the best instructions for deploying this thing on iOS or Android. Actually, this is pathetic. I mean, I give this the big thumbs down. They clearly stated, let's go back. All right. Deploy to mobile. Follow the capacitor setup instructions to run on Android or iOS. There's a README. There are no capacitor setup instructions. I guess this means go to the capacitor website and figure it out on your own. That's kind of shitty. But since we've gotten this far, let me try it. The other challenge is that since it's not integrated, it looks like I'm going to have to download this thing. I'm going to have to check it into GitHub, download it to get it on device. This is a little bit trickier. And in my opinion, I would not recommend, if you want to build a mobile app, although I am a fan of Capacitor, and I think it's a great tool to use, if it's your first rodeo, I would just do it in Bolt. Like this extra complexity of having to, unless I'm missing something, and if there's someone who knows Lovable better, can kind of tap me and say, yo, bro, you missed it. Forcing you to export this to GitHub and download it, find the capacitor instructions on your own, and figure out how to deploy it is a non-starter for me. I think at a minimum, they could have provided some links and instructions in here for you. If you want to work locally using your ID, you can clone this repo and push changes. I mean, that's your only option you have at this point to get this thing on device. So let's try to wrap this and get this thing on device. And so you're going to have to give me some time to get my environment set up because I did not expect that. But I'm assuming at first I'm going to have to sync this thing to GitHub. You're moving the only instance of this project to your GitHub organization. This means the project will now live in GitHub and must remain there to keep syncing with Lovable. This currently is not, don't really understand all this, but we're just trying to get this thing built. Okay. So it's now in Lovable. And all right, now I can actually read this here. And I just want to confirm that there are no instructions to get this thing deployed. Okay, there's not. So let me let me set up my normal dev environment and get this thing going. All right, so I've created a new directory, and now let's try and clone this thing down in. So, oh, all right, so pick. Oh man, I wanted to put in my Lovable directory. So, move. All right, and let's see what we can do. Now we're cooking. Did it add any of the packages? So it's added capacitor to it. I have some other videos on how to integrate capacitor to any sort of web app. I'll add links to those if you want some deeper details, but I'm just gonna show you how to do it based on my experience in doing this before. But like I said, you can look at these other videos that I have if you want to kind of see step by step how to do it. It's not that hard. So let's do an npm run build. What? Oh, sorry. npm install and npm run build, and then npx cap add iOS. So I want to add iOS support. All right. So first problem is that it says it. That is not an acceptable app ID. So we need to go into our capacitor config. I'm going to try to not change things. I'm just going to change the minimum amount of stuff. So this clearly is a bad app ID. So let's change this to, let's just remove this last part, and Lovable pick to do. All right, let's just go with that. Save and see if we can get. I think we're still. Let's just run everything again. npm run build, and then npx cap add iOS. I'm just going to do iOS here. We can do both, and then npx cap run iOS. Let's pick our simulator, and this will now push it to device. All right. So, why is it redirecting me to? I got a feeling that this URL here is causing a problem for us now. I'm pretty certain this is needed for live reload, or we're not doing live reload. So I read recently a documentation that it says it ignores this, but from the behavior that I just saw with it redirecting, I don't think it's ignoring this URL. So let's just try and remove it and see what happens. And so let's run it again. Yeah, that's what it is. So you're gonna have to remove that. And so now let's log in. All right, so I've signed in successfully. So now we're back to kind of some of the basic mobile app stuff that needs to be done. So you need to add a tool in to fix this status bar issue at the top. I'll just point some things out. Well, first of all, you saw that I had to remove that URL. I think that the way that Lovable works, that it's going to need that URL when it runs inside the Lovable environment. Also, it didn't make this mobile aware. So as you can see, we need some space here at the top for the status bar. There's also default safe areas on mobile devices that need to be supported. But it got you pretty far. I mean, I'm pretty impressed where we are. So let's see a couple other things. Let's try to create on device. Oh, that's an existing. That's interesting. How do I get back now? Done. All right. I don't think I could get back because it is safe area problem. Let's see if Lovable can fix it for me. All right. Since I am running on capacitor, we need to account for the safe area in the mobile view and the status bar. I believe there is a capacitor plugin for the status bar. Also, are there any changes needed to index HTML? So it's going to fix that. Looks like it's doing some editing. All right, it added the status bar plugin. Let's see what it did to index HTML. Would be nice if I could see the diffs. Let's go in here. There's some, this probably should be no zoom on here, but let's just see what it did. All right, so it thinks it's done. And I think based on what they said, it should be syncing everything to GitHub. Though there should be a new commit. Yeah. Added a capacitor safe area handling. So now let's go here. And can I just do a git pull? All right, it added some new stuff. Interesting, it didn't touch capacitor config. But let's do an npm run build. Ah! Oh, we got it install. It added it, but it looks like it didn't install it. So npm install. So it added the package. Runs the build. And run on iOS. Pick our device. Okay, see we have our safe area up at the top and our safe area down at the bottom. So I can move the create and go home, see my task. I can get the back button. So let's create a new task. New task on device. Now that is not right. And I think that this is something I just know, but let's see if it could fix it. Don't we need no zoom as a meta tag for mobile UI to function properly? Yep, so what that is fixing is, you see how when I clicked on the input, it kind of zoomed in? It should not, we don't want it to do that. See, so the maximum scale and user scalable node to prevent zooming. Well, let's just ask, are there other updates needed to ensure proper mobile experience? Scroll function, tap highlight, touch feedback. All right, I'll take it. Those are probably more than I would have done, but I'm glad they did it. So let's go back. Let's pull it. And that's all we pulled. So back to npm run build, because so the way capacitor works quickly is it takes the build of the application and packages it into a native container. And so that's why we're always running the build first. And you can also see, and then now the builds run, and then when I do this cat run iOS, it's syncing everything. So it's pulling any of the native plugins or any of the iOS stuff that's needed. It's pulling that over. So it's taking all of that along with the web build, and it's packaging it up to deploy on device. Okay, now I forgot what, oh yeah, I was trying to add a new task. New on device. New on device. So let's see how it's not switching. Let's switch the status to in progress. It is kind of jumping. It should not be doing that. Like I said, maybe I'll do a whole separate project on UI changes. Because there's a way to keep this from scrolling like it's scrolling. It doesn't even make sense why it's scrolling because there's tons of space. Let's see. This works fine. Create the task. Let's upload an image. Upload it from the photo library. Pretty cool. Post a comment. Comment saved. We're back. Everything's good. All right, so iOS is fine. We've gone this long. Let's see if we can spin up Android. So npx cap add. This might take a little bit longer because it's got to sync Gradle. Oh, looks like it's done syncing Gradle. So we did a build, we sync Gradle, so npx cap run Android. I might need to start my Android simulator to get this going. Oh, looks like it's found a device. Let's try the first one. Okay, here's my emulator spinning up, and here's our app. So over here, let's sign in as the admin. Got some UI issues because it should be scrolling the screen up so I can see that password field. All right, and it looks like the fix for iOS didn't quite get the fix for Android. It did move it below the status bar, but it looks like we probably, if I bring them side to side, you can see. I probably need a little bit more space on Android, and I mean, we could potentially address that. So now here is so you can see we're logged in here as this is the admin, and this is the regular user, and the admin can see the users, all their to-dos, and then it can view all to-dos. Let's delete one of these guys' tasks. Delete this task that's in progress. That's interesting. Why are these dates different? New task in progress, due date to 29th. It's a bug that we could kind of investigate later, but right now we're just showing that the focus of this was to show it running on device. We show it running, everything's running on device. We can run on iOS, we can run on Android. We can see the profile information, we can see the admin information, we can see all the to-dos. I think what's happening is that in this admin view, it's showing the creation date, not the due date. Actually, I'm 90% certain that's what's happening just by looking at the dates here. But I'm going to wrap it up here. It's kind of funny. We started in a vibe coding tool and ended up in an IDE. First, let me make sure I get all these changes pushed. So we're just making sure we get a thoroughly detailed commit message showing all the changes that were made and that the commit gets done. And now we'll sync the changes back up to GitHub. So you can see this was my most recent commit. But what's cool is now that it's synced, every time that Lovable is making a change, it's adding its own commit. So in theory, you can kind of roll back to any of these. It would be, yeah, so you could track all of its commits. But what I wanted to do was just ensure that I got the commit that added the mobile support so that the app can run on mobile. So let's summarize. Let's get my summary on this. So the ability for Lovable to take the original prompt and build the application, definitely give it I have to give it a B plus. I'm rating it a little bit higher than I did Bolt, and you can take a look at the Bolt video and see more. But Bolt had a little bit more of a complex problem to solve because Bolt was using Expo, and Bolt was trying to build an application that can run in the browser, but then also can run on device using Expo. And that's where it had most of its challenges. It was using libraries that worked on web, but did not work on native. So that was struggle. That was a struggle for it. But on the flip side, although Lovable was able to build it, minimal errors, actually the errors that it had were very similar to the exact same errors that Bolt had. But this whole jump to get it to run on native, I just can't seem to swallow that. And that's why I can never recommend that someone build an app. Let me change this. I could not recommend a non-technical person building an app, building a mobile app using Lovable because of the back and forth of trying to get Capacitor set up to run, the fact you need to get out of this environment completely. Once again, unless someone has another way, and I haven't done a lot of deep dive research on this, but to me, it seems like I have to exit out of this whole comfortable environment that I'm in, open up my IDE, get into GitHub, pull my code, start making changes, verify it there, and then hop back and forth between my IDE and Lovable to make sure that everything's good. And to me, that, I think, might be a little bit too far to ask some people to go. Now, if you're comfortable with that, great. Like, if you want to use Lovable to get the thing kind of specced out, get it going, get a lot of the features, like, I'm not going to lie, the Supabase integration, row-level security, authentication, getting all that stuff, storage, upload, getting all that stuff done for you through just one prompt, and then jumping out and going to Capacitor to wrap it up, definitely fine if you're comfortable with those other tools. So that's my wrap on it. Hope you found this enjoyable. Please leave a comment below. If you want to see more about the mobile part, definitely drop a comment. And if enough people do it, what I will do is I'll just do a complete detailed video on how to take a Lovable website and get it to run effectively in Capacitor and how to manage it so it goes back and forth. All right. Thanks and see you next time. Bye.